A mystery exists deep within the Grand Canyon. 1 billion years worth of rocks have vanished. Since it was first described nearly 150 years ago, the Great Unconformity has shaken the scientific community. But recently, a discovery unveiled a giant underground city beneath the Grand Canyon. So what could it be? Is it an ancient city? Let's find out in today's video. Hello and welcome back to the Abandoned Archaeologist again, the channel to learn all about ancient archaeological findings. Today we will talk about the discovery of the mysterious city found beneath the Grand Canyon. The discovery has been a mystery since it was discovered, but today let's unveil it. Then let's begin with our video. But before we begin, to get your attention, we have a question you can answer at the end of the video by watching it. The discovery is not mentioned in the title, but it has more. So find out, what is the other thing archaeologists discovered in the city that surprised them? Here we begin with our video. Opportunities and confidence led us to the gates of the best-known underground city of giants in the early 20th century. It was an incredible discovery in the giant Grand Canyon, and the press quickly picked up on it. According to a context published in the Gazeta de Arizona on 5th April 1909, the Grand Canyon was the cultural birthplace of people of cyclopean proportions, a civilization that only left us with a few structures as evidence of its existence. The sources mention the accidental discovery of a massive underground citadel by an explorer named G.E. Kincaid while rafting on the Colorado River. The story begins with explorations in the Grand Canyon. Kincaid was a well-known archaeologist who received financial support from the Smithsonian Institution. Mr. Kincaid, a Smithsonian Institute archaeologist, was hired in the early 1900s to discover the western states. His journey took him to several locations, but one of them may have changed how we think about the Grand Canyon and government organizations studying history. He began his journey in Utah, the Green River, on the Colorado River, through the canyon lands. A companion and a wooden boat accompanied him. They intended to float down from the Colorado River to the Yuma to document this previously unknown and unexplored area. There were no artificial structures like the Lake Powell Dam in 1907. Nature was the only thing standing in their way. A news article discussed a lost city he discovered after passing by the modern-day Lake Powell Dam. According to their context and discovery, the entrance to this mysterious underground city was at the tunnel's end, extending more than 1,600 meters underground. Kincaid was impressed by how inaccessible the cavern was. The entrance was about 450 meters beneath the canyon's steep wall. The location was in a government-protected zone, and access was sanctioned with a fine. The entrance to the cave was above a shelf that was not visible from the river. When he noticed the chisel marks on the wall inside the city's entrance, he became intrigued, grabbed his gun, and went inside. Kincaid explained further that the architecture discovered suggested that the builders of the subterranean city were highly skilled engineers. Description of the city. The underground city's central axis resembled a massive camera from which radiated passages similar to the radii of a wheel. The main chamber's walls were adorned with copper weapons and tablets covered in symbols and hieroglyphic characters similar to those found in Egypt. Another fascinating discovery was the discovery of mummified bodies within the citadel. None of the mummies discovered were shorter than 2.74 meters and wrapped in dark linen. Kincaid claimed he photographed one of them with a flashlight, but none of the photos were found. Further research uncovered intriguing information about the beliefs of the city's alleged giants. More than 30 meters from the entrance is a room with tens of meters long cross-shaped plant and an idol that could have been the main god of his religious system. He sat cross-legged, holding a lotus or lily flower in each hand. His face, like the cave carving, had oriental features. Although this idol bore some resemblance to Buddha, scientists at the time were unable to confirm that it represented that religious cult. Perhaps a rare cultural mix that is rarely found in archaeological finds. The last camera they discovered on the expedition was what Kincaid and his partner, Professor S.A. Jordan, thought was a ceremonial crypt at the end of the Great Hall where they discovered the mummies. Unfortunately, the source provides few additional details about this discovery. There are no official versions or references to this enigmatic underground city. The Smithsonian Institute denies knowledge of the underground city's existence. What are the other mysteries surrounding the Grand Canyon? Surprisingly, yes, there are various of them. The enigma of cursed objects, another intriguing phenomenon mentioned by several Grand Canyon Park rangers, is people returning items. The rangers have stated that they occasionally receive letters or packages containing items taken from the canyon that they believe is cursed. They apparently take something they find as souvenirs, and then they have bad luck. As a result, they return the item via mail, removing any natural objects from the national park, whether cursed or not, is illegal. The Grand Canyon's age. The Great Unconformity influences the Grand Canyon's age. The Grand Canyon's age can only be estimated because the rocks cannot be properly dated. Some say the canyon is only 5 to 6 million years old. Others believe it is 70 million years old. That is a significant difference. It gets even more complicated when you consider that the canyon contains rocks that are 1,840 million years old. Claims of Bigfoot. It's easier to travel to a remote location if hearing about Bigfoot sightings. This is also true of the Grand Canyon. Bigfoot sightings are more common in the Pacific Northwest. However, sightings have been reported in the Grand Canyon as well. While none can be proven, they are certainly interesting to consider. The mystery of the Great Unconformity. Did you know that scientists use rocks to determine the ages of places, like the Grand Canyon? They can tell how long the canyon has been around by looking at its walls, different layers of rocks. The Grand Canyon is tricky because the rocks in its walls appear to be missing a large portion of the picture. In 1869, John Wesley Powell noticed that several layers of rock that should have been in the canyon walls were missing. The walls are missing more than 1 billion years of rock. In some areas, rocks 1.4 to 1.8 billion years old have been discovered directly beneath rocks only 520 million. This is a significant issue in dating the canyon's rocks. There are various theories about parts of the rock being washed away, but no one knows for certain why so much of the canyon's history is lost. This is popular as the Great Unconformity and has only been discovered in a few places. The cave's mysteries. The Grand Canyon's caves are another fascinating feature. We currently have a record of slightly more than 300 caves being discovered. However, scientists believe that the canyon may contain up to 1,000 caves. Underground Egyptian city conspiracy theory. A single story sparked this conspiracy theory. The Arizona Gazette published a story about several explorers in 1909. The Smithsonian explorers are said to have discovered a mysterious network of vast caverns. They claimed that 50,000 people could live comfortably inside the caverns. The caverns were also brimming with statues, weapons, seeds, and other treasures. The artifacts were also nothing like what the Native Americans had. Instead, the artifacts appeared to be Tibetan or Egyptian. The story understandably enthralled everyone. There is a rumor that there is an underground Egyptian city in the Grand Canyon. The Smithsonian Institution has no records of any explorers mentioned in the article and no artifacts from the expedition. Some believe it was a ruse to sell papers by the Gazette. Other conspiracy theorists believe the Smithsonian covers up the story to fit the standard narrative. Others believe the caverns are a portal to the fourth dimension and a heavily guarded area that no one can access right now. There are also rumors of Egyptian pyramids and relics in a forbidden area of the Grand Canyon. Maybe the cave story inspired these rumors. Maybe, nobody knows. Regardless of the veracity of the stories and rumors, they make for some intriguing theories to discuss while exploring. The Grand Canyon will undoubtedly continue to elude explorers and scientists for many years. Because of the canyon's immense size, we have most likely only scratched the surface of its mysteries. So, the Grand Canyon is surrounded by various mysteries, with more to discover. What do you think of the underground city found with mummies buried? Let us know in the comments below. And the answer to the question we have asked is that the underground city had mummified bodies wrapped in dark linen clothes. That was shocking. Stay tuned for more videos like this.